Oh, yeah, baby. We roll on this Tuesday edition of Snowman in the Morning, and I got an old friend of mine back. William Morgan has joined the broadcast. Good morning, William.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for having me on today. I appreciate you.
All right, let's get into this shit. The
right.
Lakers suck, the Clippers are worse, and the Nets are getting blown the hell out every which way but loose.
Yeah, boy.
I should have put a parental advisory logo up in the corner, but y'all know me once I get going. William, you sent me a message, and I will repeat said message. Let's see, where is it? Oh, yeah, it's right here in front of me. And the message says, quote, how about that ass whooping the Pelicans put on the Lakers on Sunday? My response is that loss, in which Ryan Ruocco, another underrated voice that Cole and I talk about,
Yes.
Ryan Ruocco said, quote, this game mercifully ends, close quote. Because the Lakers looked like they were blind, deaf, and dumb for the entire 48 minutes. And the greatest part about it, not the first time.
Nope. Heck no. And the thing that makes it so bad is LeBron's body language. If you look at his body language, he's a defeated man. Defeated. Cussing out the fans, going back at the fans, which ain't never a good look. Jenny Buss up here leaving the game early. She can't stand it. I love it because I hate both the Lakers and the Clippers. Let them both burn.
Let them both burn in hell.
Wait a minute.
Let them both burn in hell.
Wait a minute. So
the roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn. And yes, I said it.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that LeBron can actually go back and forth with fans instead of kick them out?
Yep.
So when that lovely harem decided to go to his aid in saying that, well, he was right to kick him out because if I heard that, I'd go in the stands to beat their behinds. Wait a minute. I thought I actually said you're supposed to channel that, put it on the court, and stick it to him.
Nope.
Kicking them out is not what you're supposed to do, and talking back to him is not going to do you any good either. Nope. And of course, the rest of the team followed their lead because you had Trevor Ariza cursing the fans out, and you had Russell Westbrook saying, if they want to boo, they can take their A's home.
I got three.
And this is Russell. And this is Russell West. And this is Russell Westbrook. Okay, this is Russell Westbrook. Who said they could take their asses home? Why don't you take your ass home, Russell Westbrook, and actually learn how to play basketball again?
The team is shook.
Oh, did I say that?
Yeah, you did, and you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
I've said that about Russell Westbrook since he took his ass out of UCLA. Okay. I only saw him have one good season, and it wasn't his MVP season. It wasn't his MVP season. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. I looked at ESPN and they
why'd you do that?
Well, because I got I got to see what ridiculousness they're going to say.
I know.
Fox, I do the same thing with other avenues too. And
same here.
And now they're saying that they were saying in October that it was a slam dunk. The Lakers going to win it all. They definitely going to represent the West. And it
was a slam dunk. They were going to represent against the Nets. We'll get against the Brooklyn Mess. We'll get to that in a few moments.
And they were going to be
the same mess.
And they're going to be
the Brooklyn Mess.
And they're going to be 70-12. And then all of a sudden, here we are in the first day of March, which now is what? 5 months removed from when everybody and their mama was saying that they were going to have a party down Figueroa Street in front of the Staples Center, Crypto.com arena. And now the expectations are if they make it out of the play-in round, the Lakers can consider this a successful season. My, how the times done change. And then you have Lakers fan. Yes, there's more. And then you have Lakers fan being kumbaya-ish with bronzesexuals and saying that
sexuals.
in saying that, well, we're happy that we got a chip with LeBron. I'm like, no. Lakers fan, I'm used to you saying this year sucks because it's not even coming close to championship season. That is the Lakers fans I know.
But my thing is,
not these nouveau ones.
But my thing is, you took that chip, but sacrificed your soul for that chip.
Say that
again, chip
man.
Was the but that
say that again. Say that again. Say that again.
You sacrificed your soul for that chip. And when you sign LeBron, you should know what LeBron is. He's going to come in with, most of the time, a defeatist attitude. He's going to want things the way he wants it. And then after that, he's going to leave you high and dry. Look at his record. Look what he did with Cleveland. Look what happened to Cleveland after he left. Look what happened to the Heat after he left. And I ain't going to do the same thing to the Lakers. Because the Lakers has no talent on that roster at all. And
because LeBron traded them all.
And I don't count street clothes, as Charles Barkley calls AD. I don't, because street clothes ain't never gonna be there. And there's a rumor every time I saw him, he coming to the only other team he'll come to is my Bulls. Nah, bro, y'all can keep street clothes.
Listen,
we don't need you.
Anthony Davis should have done that. Yep, Anthony Davis. Listen, when all this courting and flowering of Anthony Davis was going on. When he wanted out of New Orleans, Anthony Davis should have spoken up then.
Yep.
But see, LeBron put his member in Anthony Davis's mouth and said, we're going to do this in Los Angeles. I think Anthony Davis, when he wanted to leave New Orleans, wanted to go home. I really believe Anthony Davis wanted to say, fuck LeBron.
So
I want to go home.
So when the member was stuck in Anthony Davis's mouth, why did Anthony Davis decide to be a backup singer? I'm sorry, my bad.
You ain't lying either. Cause that's all he is. And the thing that kills me, there's some analysts out there that's saying once they get AD, and I ain't gonna call no names, but there's some analysts out there that says once you get AD back, it's gonna fix all the Lakers issues. I'll call BS on that. They still gonna have the same issues.
I call BS on that too.
Issues.
Well, gentlemen, his injuries call BS a whole lot louder than we could.
Yep. And this is something Cole and I have talked about on this show a lot. Okay, we off the air, on the air. William, you and I have talked about it too. Who the hell thought that the Los Angeles Lakers were going to win 70 games? Hell, my next sentence to Cole on a drive in North Carolina was the Golden State Warriors have a better chance of getting 70 wins than the Lakers do. And then Cole said, I hope they don't get 70 because it'll keep them focused on the big prize, which of course is the NBA World Championship. And I can dig that. But the Lakers getting 70 wins? Who told this lie?
This team may not be.
I know it wasn't the two gentlemen that I have on this panel. I know it wasn't the two gentlemen that I have on this panel.
This team may not amass 70 wins in the two combined seasons if they decide to have this bunch travel to 2023.
Yeah. And they wanted to run it back after they got that championship in the bubble. Let me explain something. The only reason the Lakers were able to win in the bubble is because they had a 4-month break.
And to your point, William, in the selling, the Lakers selling their soul for the bubble chip,
selling their soul.
I
spoke to a Lakers fan and I said, man, it's so sad. This guy simply tore up your core. Just tore up your core. I mean, just imagine if they had the players that they had on the team now, how far along they would be. They probably would have won a chip at some point, and they'd be better off going forward when LeBron retires. And so I heard no, you're wrong.
Now they don't have that.
Yeah. And I said, and the guy said, no, you're wrong with that. I'm like, okay. So we're talking about Brandon Ingram, we're talking about Lonzo Ball, we're talking about Julius Randle, we're talking about Kyle Kuzma.
Yep. And if anything, Kyle Kuzma was the biggest recipient of not being there because you saw how he's improved.
Yeah, Kuzma got bent over the couch for 2 years.
Yep.
You know, I said to this
Kuzma
gentleman,
got bent over the couch in LeBron's first 2 seasons because he wanted Anthony Davis so bad.
Yep.
He wanted Anthony Davis so bad. See, and this is the power of LeBron that frightens me. He wanted Anthony Davis so bad that he was willing to not just go to management and have them sacrifice their core, but in essence tell them to sacrifice their core.
He was willing to usurp management.
Yep.
And I said,
which he did.
Yeah, he did. So I said this Lakers fan, okay, so you could have these 4 in the starting lineup. That's 70 points, my man. So you mean to tell me that you couldn't team that 70 points up with the 27 that LeBron, and he's averaging 29 this year, but the customary 27 that he has, that's 97 points, and we haven't gotten to the Jordan Clarksons and Alex Caruso's on the bench yet.
In which Caruso's having a fabulous year in Chicago.
Yep.
You know, the Bulls took a tough one last night, but when you're without 5 of your key players, including Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso, and you're playing the top-seeded Miami Heat, it's going to be a tough one.
It's going to be a tough.
It's going to be a tough one, and they lost by 13. But let me speak to Bron sexuals for a moment here.
Okay.
Well, I got to do it right. So I had a conversation with a Bron sexual.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And he brought up LeBron's averaging 29 points a game this season.
Okay.
So, in the immortal words of the late, great Richard Pryor, and these are unedited, I just said something that just killed his shit. When I said, you know, most of LeBron's points in his career are bloated, right?
See, you
ain't heard back from that son of a bitch since.
Go back and look at the game the other night. Most of his points
came in
the fourth quarter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When it didn't
matter.
When it didn't matter.
Thank you. Say it again, William. Say it again.
When it didn't matter.
Thank you. When it didn't matter. When it didn't matter.
You should have treated.
That's when LeBron gets his points. Hasn't that been the story for LeBron for 19 years? Man, people don't want me to say that a lot, but I scream it as loud as I can. William, you've ridden shotgun with me on this program many times over. Cole, you also, and y'all know I love exposing Bron sexuals. Well, not physically. But
no. Pull them pants up, Bron sexual. I'm sorry.
Wait till you hear us tomorrow when we do Bron sexual confessions.
Man,
oh dear Lord.
Man, you should have treated that. You should have treated that fool like the story from OJ. You should have treated him like he said, "I'm not black up OJ." You should have looked at him and said, "Okay."
I just think that you just have to. LeBron's going to have to take this season on the chin. Stop playing the role of GM, because when you look at these great athletes that become GMs,
you're
terrible.
You're telling LeBron. You're telling. I know, and we know where that's going, but I think Michael Jordan's power is being usurped. Also, I got a few contacts in Charlotte. that are telling me as such, because if he was really in control, one, he owned 100% of the franchise, and two, he put the people in place that needed to be there.
Right.
You know, he got a test run in Washington, and this is not taken away from the negatives that he put there in terms of the people he drafted. But I do have this caveat. He got a trial run in Washington and supposedly was the principal owner there. I think it was that in name only. I think the same thing in Charlotte, because it's going to come to a point where this billionaire is going to buy the whole damn team and kick everybody out that needs to go.
He might.
I just think stop. I think LeBron just needs to stop. You had a chance to get better players. If you would have gave DeMar DeRozan another year, he would have been a Laker. If you would have decided to go, you could have got Buddy. You could have got Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield, a whole lot better off. So
the deal was for Buddy Hield, not Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Not Russell Westbrook. It was for Buddy Hield.
Hield would be a much better fit than LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
But Carmelo was right. Carmelo's right. You the GM, LeBron. Yep, he's right.
And I just think in a lot of this, you throwing shots at Rob Pelinka. Look, my thing is this: if I'm Rob Pelinka, if I'm Rob Pelinka, no matter what I say, you'll come after me anyway. So if he would have just told LeBron, and I hate to steal this, if he would have had the courage of his convictions and told LeBron, no, we going with Buddy Hield, you coming after me anyway. You coming at me in the media talking about saying Presley, you coming after me anyway. So I'm gonna do what's right. I'm gonna do what's right by the team and go get Buddy Hield rather than Russell Westbrook. It might be a different story, but like I said,
but here's the caveat. But here's the caveat to that. But here's the caveat to that. I've said this on social media. I've said it on this program, and I will continue to say it until something proves me wrong. Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka are in charge in name only.
Yeah.
And LeBron also has to stop sneak dissing too. And stop being passive. He really
does. That whole thing he did with Sam Presley was ridiculous.
It was.
You know, if I were Sam Presti, you know what I'd do? I'd open a defamation lawsuit against his ass.
I mean, it's not like
I would challenge the supposed kingship of LeBron James. Okay?
It's not like he's going to play for OKC anytime soon.
He really isn't. He really isn't. And then the worst kept secret comes out that his final season will be played with his son. And if I were Browning, I'd say no. What's the message I always say on here? And I know Cole's going to laugh his ass off when I say this, but think about this carefully. If I were Bronny James and you just saw your father say, my last season in the NBA is going to be with my son Bronny, I have a 3-word response. Just say no.
Don't have Bronny.
I'm like
a drug.
I'd be shaking my head. Go, oh hell no.
Think of the pressure of that too. Think of the pressure.
See, and that's what frightens me for Bronny. The pressure and the scepter of his father that he has to live up to. He's going to be forced to live up to that, and he ain't going to be able to do it. Because the pressure is going to continue to grow.
Can we talk about the elephant in the room real quick? Can we talk about conspiracy?
You think?
Can we talk about conspiracy?
You mean the four elephants in the room? All 4 syllables of that word?
Look.
You mean that?
They taking to get that pig inside.
And look, and
listen.
Let me stop, man.
And look, and to the people who are saying, LeBron doesn't have a no trade clause, the Lakers can trade him. I'm like, look, you don't understand.
I trade his ass anyway.
This guy.
No, I'll say what I need to say in a moment.
You mean to tell me if Rob Pelinka or Jeannie Buss would have walked up to LeBron and say, "Well, you're no longer a Laker, you're actually a Rocket," that dude would retire on the spot?
Yeah, he would.
He'll
No,
be out.
Yeah, he would.
He'll be out.
He'll be out and would distance himself from the NBA forever. Right. He would all it would take, and I've been criticized for this. I've been criticized with any what is the word I'm looking for? Criticism I've made of LeBron, and I know that's not the correct word, but I'll think of it in a moment. You know, saying I trade LeBron today. I'll go one step further before we go to break. I'll go one step further. And again, Michael K., I thank you for this phrase. I'd release his ass today. I don't care what anybody says. LeBron, F you, get out.
Eat the damn money.
I would kick him out and lock the doors.
Eat the damn money.
Now that
would be money.
Now that would be
eat the money.
Now that would be considered a failure if they do release outright LeBron.
It would.
If they don't get the message now, they never will. All right, one final break, but I want to thank William Morgan for jumping on today. Man, it is a pleasure, and I can't wait to have you back on again. I appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
All right, one more break, and then I got a message for y'all after this.